Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, I feel much delighted to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the 15th International Conference on Islamic Capital Markets with the main theme of developing Islamic capital markets to converge the Ummah.
The compassionate, the merciful. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, knowledgeable scholars, it's with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the 15th Islamic Capital Markets Conference.
Actually, we are done with the first day of the event. I hope you have enjoyed it, and we are waiting for you tomorrow morning right at 9 o'clock here at the same venue. Thank you and goodbye.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وحبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى آله وصحبه المنتجبين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, most welcome to the 15th International Conference on Islamic Capital Markets. I am Majid Pire. I am the Secretary of Sharia Committee at the Securities and Exchange Organization of Iran. So delighted to be here with you and also the very distinguished panelists. Actually, I had studied in Islamic finance in a university in Tehran, which is named as Imam Sadiq University, Jamaat al-Imam al-Sadiq. When I was studying there, one of my professors said that, "Hey, what's your first name?" I said, "My first name is Majid." And then he said, "Actually, you are not Majid, you are Abdul Majid." And this is an important fact about my name. Actually, my name is Majid by my father. He called me Majid and put my name in my ID card, but actually I'm not Majid, I am Abdul Majid, inshallah. And then so happy to see you here, brothers and sisters, most welcome from different countries. Many of you probably have connected with me. We had some discussions about the materials, and I am so delighted to have the chance to be here today with you. As you know, we focused for this event on the convergence of Ummah, and we are trying to find the best solutions as much as possible in order to find how we can develop the financial products to converge the Ummah. With me here from the left side, let me introduce Dr. Hussein Meisami, one of my best friends. He is the Secretary of Sharia Council at the Central Bank of Iran, a very famous scholar, and also the professor for Islamic finance in many universities in Iran. And also he's, as I mentioned, as the Secretary of Sharia Council of the Central Bank of Iran. He manages different issues for implementing the correct mechanism for Islamic banking inside my country. Also, we have the Sheikh Hassan Lakhani, if I'm pronouncing correctly, as a member of the Sharia Committee at the State Bank of Pakistan. Something very interesting about Dr. Mazhar and also Sheikh Lakhani is that they both can understand Persian, Farsi, and can speak Farsi. And then very interesting to multi-languages, some multi-languages scholars, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And also on my right-hand side, we have Sheikh Misbahuddin from the Securities and Exchange Commission of Bangladesh, and also he is the member of the Sharia Committee at the Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, also Islamic finance professor at the International Islamic University of Malaysia. INSIF University, yes. Yeah. Research fellow at the INSIF University. Many of you have heard the name of INSIF. INSIF is really one of the most powerful universities in Islamic finance, not only in Malaysia or the Middle East, but also in the Middle East, or not only in Malaysia or in Eastern countries, but also in the Middle East and also in the Europe and even the USA. I'm so happy to have the panelists here. Before we go to the panelists, let me give you some very brief introduction about our Sharia Committee of the SEO, and then I'm going to ask the panelists to tell us their viewpoints about the challenges and opportunities ahead for Sharia committees in different jurisdictions. One of our very important challenges that we have in Iranian Islamic capital market is that when we want to have a specific financial instrument launched in the Iranian capital market, very unfortunately, at the initial steps, we have some biased introduction of mechanisms. Some active market players who they want to talk about something interesting, Let me give you an example. As you may remember, Sheikh Misbahi in the morning ceremony, he emphasized about the launching ETN, exchange traded notes, in the Iranian capital market. And we invited the experts to talk about the exchange traded notes in the Sharia committee to see how it really works. Very unfortunately, we saw that those financial experts, they eliminated many of its aspects that by their own viewpoint, they contradicted Sharia principles. And they introduced a very different picture about that instrument to the Sharia committee. And I asked my colleague, hey, why you did not talk about all aspects of ETNs? He said, I was afraid that it might be refused by the Sharia committee. And this is one of our important challenges that right now we have in our Sharia committee. And then, so basically, but really I believe that the Sharia scholars, in many cases, they believe to a general principle in which it is called as isalatus siha. Isalatus siha in Islamic terminology, it means that every financial instrument is right, is correct, unless it contradicts the Sharia principles, the obvious Sharia principles like riba, like gharar, like darar, like aklul mali bil batil. So when we care about many financial instruments, we see that, hey, those financial instruments, they are really correct. They are based on investment, they are based on making profits, there is no element of interest. But very unfortunately, one of the our current challenges is that many people are afraid. Many market active, many market professionals, many conventional finance professionals, they are afraid that the issue might be refused. Let me talk about the positive side. Alhamdulillah, as Dr. Mazhar indicated, in Iran, after the changes in the constitution, based on the legal forms, any financial instrument in Iran should be in compliance with Sharia principles. So from a legal point of view, not from a practical point of view. In practice, definitely there might be some elements that really contradict Sharia principles, and maybe we don't know. But from the illegal point of view, it is one of positive aspects of the Iranian financial system is that from legally speaking, the instruments and financial products should comply with Sharia principles. Okay, this was my statements, my sentences for talking about the challenge and the opportunity for the Iranian capital market. And right now I would like to give the floor to Dr. Hussein Meisami. He is the, as I mentioned, Secretary of Sharia Council of Central Bank of Iran, to talk about the opportunities and challenges you have right now in the Sharia Committee, Sharia Council of Central Bank of Iran. How much time? 10 minutes. Thank you.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. It is an honor for me to be here and present my experience regarding the Iranian Sharia Council and discuss about opportunities and challenges of the CBI in implementing Islamic banking. Before that, my special thanks will directly go to Dr. Pire and his colleagues in the Iranian Securities and Exchange Organization for making this scientific endeavor possible. Thank you very much, everything very good. And well, because the time is very limited and short, I put all the ideas in nutshell, and you see one slide presentation, which is shown there. In my view, there are 4 opportunities and 10 challenges which are related to implementing Islamic banking in the Iranian system. As you know, the Islamic banking in Iran is completely different from what is the case in other Islamic countries. In Iran, we have 100% Islamic system with no room for conventional banking. This experience is different from what is happening in other countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Persian Gulf countries, and so on and so forth. There, Islamic banks cooperate and compete with conventional banks, but in Iran, there is no room for conventional banking. All the system is 100% Islamic. We have 30 full-fledged Islamic banks, and with almost 24,000 Islamic branches. I repeat, 24,000 Islamic branches. So you see that this is a very tough job to handle this big system and implement Islamic banking in all across the country. This is the big picture of Islamic banking in Iran. But about the opportunities, most of the people in Iran are Muslims. This is important. It is unlike, for example, Malaysia, part of population, their part of population are Muslims, but in Iran, more than 90% Muslim people, and we should answer to the financial needs and banking needs of this Islamic population. In Iran, second one, in Iran we have an independent act which is passed in the Iranian parliament. It is called Riba Free Banking Act, right? RFBA, Riba Free Banking Act. This act works as a pillar or fundamental base for all Islamic banking system in Iran. It was ratified and passed in the Iranian parliament at 1982. It is more than 40 years that Islamic banking is in practice in Iran based on this law. The third one is implementing Islamic banking in nationwide basis or system. It is somehow an opportunity, in my view. It is important. Our banks are not under pressure of competition by conventional banks. The fourth one, I told you that long-lasting experience, which is more than 4-decade experience of doing Islamic banking in a nationwide system. So about the challenges, we have some theoretical challenges, right? For example, definition of riba. There are some misunderstanding about riba. Some people believe that any profit is riba, but it is not the case in the Islamic point of view. And some other issues which are theoretical, but I mean to emphasize practical challenges. The first one is governmental view toward Islamic banking. The Islamic banking system in Iran is a kind of governmental initiatives, right? It is led by government. It is a top-bottom approach, and government is present in most of the initiatives regarding the Islamic banking in Iran. It is important, and it could be somehow challenging because it prevents, sometimes it prevents making the system competitive and in coming up with new instruments, Islamic instruments. The second challenge is nationwide Islamic banking system from one point of view, it is opportunity. From other point of view, it is a challenge, because when the system is wholly and thoroughly Islamic, it makes the issue very difficult to handle for the central bank and for the supervisory bodies like Securities and Exchange Organization of Iran. The third one is the issue of delayed payments. As you know, based on Islamic teachings, you cannot add to debts in contrast to time, because it is considered as riba in debt or riba dain. So it is challenging that how we solve the issue of delayed payments. In other countries, as you know, the penalties or the banks receive penalty from the people who have delay in their payment, but these penalties directly go to charity and charitable activities. But in Iran, it is not the case, and it is considered as the income of the bank. In my view, it is somehow challenging, and it is not according to AOF standard, and it is not practiced anywhere else in the world. Another issue is related to rolling over of the loans, how to extend the time and the time of the contract when it is due, right? For example, it is a Murabba contract. At the end, the customer needs to extend the time of the contract, but based of Islamic rulings, there are some limitations because of the issue of riba. So it is a challenge in the Iranian Sharia Council to come up with solutions regarding rolling over of loans. The fifth one is the issue of collateral in musharaka contracts. As you know, all Islamic contracts are classified in two groups. First one, musharaka contracts like muzaraba, musharaka, and so on and so forth. And the other class is tradeways or trade-based modes of financing like murabaha and jara and juala and so on. But in the Iranian practice, even in musharaka contracts, banks do receive collateral because they look at the facility as debts, right? And because of that, they request the customer to bring collateral considering all the principal and profit and other things. So it is somehow challenging. As far as I know, it is not in accordance with IOF standards, and it is important. The other challenge, which is very important, is that RFBA, Riba Free Banking Act, is not revised, and it is somehow getting an old law. We are not doing the revision and add needed issues to the law. It is a very important issue. In other countries like Malaysia, the law is revised in different times based on new initiatives. But in Iran, it is more than 40 years that the law is not revised. I believe that in near future, I wish next year the law will be revised, but at the time of speaking, it is not the case, and it is a challenge for the Iranian Sharia Council. Number 7, paying on account monthly profit. As you know, in the Islamic banking, we do not have the concept of cost of capital, right? We have the issue of profit instead of interest and cost of capital and other conventional terms. In other countries, as far as I know, and based on AOF standard, different techniques are used to smooth the profit. like profit equalization reserves. These are a kind of reserves that Islamic banks keep to smooth the differences between real profit and expected profit. But in Iran, we have a concept called on-account monthly profit, right? تحت الحساب profit, or in other translation, على الحساب profit. This is important to note that it is a challenge for the Iranian Sharia Council to solve this issue. On-account profit sometimes is not in accordance with the sheer nature of the Islamic contracts. It is important, in my view. Number 8, lack of accounting and auditing standards. Neither AOF nor IFSB are implemented in Iran, and the Central Bank of Iran does have its own standards. But it is very important for the system to come up with the ways which are in harmony with the AOF and IFSB standards, and in the Central Bank we are trying our best to make the system near to the international standards. These international standards are related to experiences of many countries, many Islamic countries. I believe that more than 40 countries are member of AOF, and making use of these standards will help the Iranian system in the issue of Islamic banking. Number 9, insufficient internal Sharia control. As you know, and one of our brother in the previous session said, in Islamic countries, each Islamic bank has a Sharia board, right? With, for example, 3 people. But in Iran, the case is different. In Iran, we have one Sharia council at the central bank, and in the commercial banks and other banks, we do not have Sharia board. We have Sharia supervisor. The Sharia Council of Central Bank has one Sharia supervisor in each of the banks, right? These guys, which are 30 people, 30 supervisors in 30 banks, are somehow bodies of Iranian Central Bank Sharia Council in the system, but it is not enough, in my view, and based on AOF standard, all of the banks should have somehow internal Sharia control, processes and procedures. It is very important, and in future we should work on that. Having one person as supervisor is needed, necessary, but not enough, and we do need a kind of Sharia internal control, Sharia internal review, and other things. These Sharia internal control people do not issue fatwa. They process and supervise the internal issues related to Sharia in the daily operation of the Islamic banks. Last not the least, in my view, the most important, little education and research. I told you that in Iran we have more than 24,000 Islamic banking branches, right? Suppose that each branch has 10 people in place as worker. Totally we come up with 240,000 bankers, which are Islamic bankers. These guys do need education, do need things like that. And considering this nationwide Islamic banking system, in my view, the education we are giving them is not satisfactory. I believe that it is enough for the first round of discussion, Brother Majid, and in the next round I will be at your disposal.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hossein Meisami. A very good talk about the challenges and also the opportunities you have in the Sharia Council of Central Bank of Iran. Thank you very much. A very good presentation. I would like now to invite Sheikh Shabir Hassan Lakhani from State Bank of Pakistan to talk about his viewpoints in 10 minutes. And then we will have Dr. Misbahuddin, and then 5 minutes at the end to wrap up the meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It's an honor to be here, and I am thankful to the Securities and Exchange Organization's president and organizers for giving us an opportunity to be here and meet a great number of scholars and bankers and experts of Islamic banking. I'll start my discussion in a different way, and I'm not a very, very perfect speaker. I'll say that the world changed in 1978, in 1979, when Islamic Revolution came, and Alhamdulillah, people started thinking how the life should go according to Islam. Then the second change has come on 7th of October 2023, when the Palestinians have shown the power of Islam. My regards and my respect to all the Shahadas of Islamic Republic of Iran and Palestinians and everyone who has sacrificed from the day one of Islam till today. I feel that Islamic Republic of Iran should have been the pioneer of all these Islamic systems, whether Islamic capital markets or other things. But I have been feeling, I have studied in Hawza Ilmiyakum for 20 years, and I have also studied Islamic banking in a very specific way. But this lagging behind has to be changed, and inshallah, with the honorable scholars of Islamic Republic of Iran, I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the Islamic Republic of Iran has the capacity to lead the Ummah. I will not speak more than this. My respect to Imam Khomeini rahmatullah alayh, and my respect to Rahbar-e-Muazzam Hazrat Ayatollah Khamenei for taking care of Ummah in different ways, silently, openly. And I pray that inshallah, Islamic Republic of Iran from now, my services are there for every step which is needed and to spread the message of Islamic Republic of Iran. Going ahead, Islam says, Ya ayyuhal, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu udkhulu fis silmi kafa. Enter in Islam completely. No part-time Muslim is accepted. No holiday-making Muslim is accepted. And that's why we need to change the whole life of a Muslim, whether it's regard to his transportation or his sanitation or his education, and the basis are economics. So we need to work in all the directions, but because today we are talking about Sharia committees, interaction and opportunities, so I will not go ahead with those things anymore. In Pakistan, we have been struggling in the beginning to implement Islamic economic system. And if I just very shortly tell you the history, in 1980, banking system was tried to convert in Islamic in the days of President Ziaul Haq. The only change which came was the name of the saving account was changed from saving account to profit and loss account. This was a very, very big blunder, which I'll explain later on. Then second thing was zakat was made mandatory. All bank accounts were subject to the payment of compulsory zakat, which was again a very big problem for the Islamic economic system. Zakat is not the problem. Forceful reduction of zakat, which takes place today also. On 1st of Ramadan, all the banks don't have any public dealings and they just cut off zakat, whether it is compulsory, whether it is not, whatever it is. But this is a problem, because zakat is every person's personal duty that he has to pay, and it is one of the bases of Islam. But the way it started, it created a problem. In 1991, Federal Shariat Court ordered to eliminate riba from banking system, and I hope you don't laugh. Now, in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, my brothers from Pakistan all serving and working excellently. I forgot to mention the presence, my brother mother. Now, in 2021, Supreme Sharia Court has ordered that all the banks should be converted into Islamic bank in 5 years by the end of 2027. Again, Islam says, I'm sorry to say, La ikraha fid deen. Don't force Islam. Let people accept Islam. For us, the life of Holy Prophet, Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, Ashab al-Karam, is the example that people entered Islam by their own wish. And I know this message will be passed ahead, that it will be again a very big problem when I will be talking about the challenges to convert all the banks. I don't remember the total number of banks in Pakistan, which themselves are challenges for Islamic banking. But this is going to be a big problem. So in 2001, again a verdict was announced that riba is haram. Quran has said verdict was not needed anyhow. Then State Bank became serious and started Islamic banking. And I had the honor to be the first ever Sharia scholar of State Bank of Pakistan. Going ahead, first ever Islamic bank which was Alhamdulillah established was a Mizan Bank. And Mizan Bank has proof that if a group of businessmen wants to go ahead with the Islamic banking, they can go ahead, and they have proof that without any forces, Islamic banking can go ahead. And I did not bring the Mizan Bank's statistics. You'll be surprised and shocked that the way, Alhamdulillah, it is developing is going excellently. Anyhow, at the moment, 22 commercial banks are working in Pakistan. 6 of 22 are full-fledged Islamic bankings. Mizan, Al-Baraka, Dubai Islamic, Bank Islami, FES Islamic, and MCB Islamic Bank. 6 microfinance banks are also there, active in Pakistan. We have many more things, and I don't want to just go on reading all these things. Points are written over there. What are the opportunities in Pakistan? Pakistan was made for Muslims. One of the honor of Pakistan is that Pakistan came into existence in the name of Islam. So today also, 3rd, 4th generation loves Islam and is ready to sacrifice for Islam. And just few days back, youth had a very big demonstration. Let us go to Palestine and help our Palestine brothers. I don't know, I have this thing in my heart, so I don't stop speaking. We have opportunity. We have almost 97% Islamic country, and all Muslims, all love Islam with the depth of their heart. And in my Ramadan, it is proved. So they want Islam in their life, but actual Islam, not things which I'll be speaking in few minutes. Now the Supreme Court, Alhamdulillah, we have the opportunity that the Supreme Shariat Bench has ordered that 2027 Islamic banking should be fully established, and government has started working on it, and trade, and I hope that after Islamic banking, the market will become an Islamic market, inshallah ta'ala mustaan. Because it's not only the riba, which is one of the most difficult things for human beings. It is actually implementation of every law of Islam, which will make our life excellent. Coming to the challenges which we are having, Alhamdulillah, Islamic Republic of Iran had a very great opportunity that they had no such challenges as we are facing in Pakistan. The first and the utmost challenge is conventional banking. The conventional banking, if you don't mind my example, my sisters, please don't mind. Conventional banking thinks that a second wife has come in the family, and that is Islamic banking. And that is why we are facing real challenge. Although many conventional banks have started converting into Islamic bankings so that the second wife is not needed, but they are facing challenges. Secondly, conventional bankings have started Islamic branches and not converted to Islamic banking, which itself is a difficult position for us. Another challenge is, although at times the challenge is an opportunity and at times an opportunity is a challenge. It's a challenge, it's an opportunity that we have all the masalik of Islam in Pakistan. In one way, it's an opportunity that we get diversified view in different matters. But then the problem comes that even in one maslak, there are 10 different views. And in the beginning, we used to get confused what to do, whom to accept. But Alhamdulillah, Allah helped us because our intention was very clear and sincere. And this challenge started getting converted into opportunity. But still, many of the fuqaha of Ahl Sunnah still don't accept Islamic banking as it is being implemented. So we went to them and we requested that, see, it may not be 100% Islamic, but it is not 100% non-Islamic also. See, brothers and sisters, if a thing is not 100% Islamic, it's not 100% non-Islamic like conventional banks, which are having riba very openly, although the name has been changed. So come, if you think we are 50% Islamic, help us, make us 100%. Find out our faults, and Alhamdulillah, different school of thought have come ahead and we are moving fast in this matter. One of the most difficult challenges was that people used to try to develop Islamic financial systems, I will not say banks, financial systems, and they failed. And once a system fails, and that also in financial markets, the most difficult thing we faced were the Ponzi schemes in the name of Mudaribah. When a person comes to know that some religious person is developing a Mudaribah system, Shah Sahib jo in Punjab, and people blindfoldedly started giving their money just on the basis of a paper that this is the money they have deposited, and they started getting 100% return in 3 months and 6 months. And a day came that everything abolished. But it is different from Sanduq Qarzul Hasana matter, which was there in Qum 30 years back. This has to be studied in a different way. Anyhow, these are the challenges we have been facing and we are facing, but we are happy that we have moved forward in a very good way. All the ulamas have tried sincerely, and I hope that we are able to serve the Islamic Republic of Iran with our diversified experience in this field. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Shabir. Very good points and useful and informative lecture. That was great. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite Dr. Misbahuddin Ahmad from Securities and Exchange Commission of Bangladesh to talk about the challenges and opportunities you are facing in Bangladesh Sharia committees. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Assalamu alaikum. distinguished panelists and participants. My slide is slide. Oh. Yes. Okay. To give an introduction about myself first, I'm a research fellow at ISF University, Malaysia. But other than that full-time job, I am also a member of the Sharia Advisory Council of Securities Commission, Bangladesh, and also a member of the Sukuk Technical Committee at Bangladesh Bank, that is the central bank of Bangladesh. So whenever government issues Sukuk, we advise on the Sukuk structures. Also, I served as a Sharia Supervisory Board member of the 2 corporate Sukuk issued in Bangladesh. So in my short presentation, I will first share the overview of the Sukuk market in Bangladesh, and then I will go into the issues and challenges. So in Bangladesh, we started Islamic banking in 1983. That is the same year when Malaysia started Islamic banking. But Islamic insurance came in 1999. Unfortunately, we took quite a long time to issue our first Sukuk. In December 2020, the government of Bangladesh issued its first Sukuk. And then in June 2021, the first corporate Sukuk came in the market. And subsequently, in August 2021, the second tranche of the first, in December 2021, second government Sukuk came. And in April, third government Sukuk, and in August 2023, in this year, second corporate Sukuk came. All of the government Sukuk basically targeted the extra liquidity that were present in the Islamic banking sector. And all of the government Sukuk are oversubscribed. The first government Sukuk's first tranche was subscribed by 3.8 times. Second tranche of the first government Sukuk was subscribed by 8.2 times. Second government Sukuk was subscribed by 4.7 times, and third government Sukuk was for 2.5 times. So each of the government Sukuk received an overwhelming response from the market. But for the corporate Sukuk, unfortunately, the picture is not the same. The first corporate Sukuk, although it was labeled as green, it struggled to be fully subscribed. At the end, it had to take support from the underwriters. Second, the corporate Sukuk was a small one. Despite having some difficulties, it managed to fully subscribe. So going to the specific topic, that is the role of the Sharia Advisory Committee. So for government Sukuk, there are 2 layers. The first layer is Sukuk Technical Committee, where I serve as a member. And the second layer is Sharia Advisory Committee. The role of the Sukuk Technical Committee is that they evaluate the projects that are proposed by the Ministry of Finance. At the Technical Committee, we go through the project papers and determine whether a project is suitable to be the underlying asset for Sukuk issuance. And after that, we structure the Sukuk and Sukuk documentations. In this technical committee, there are representatives from the Debt Management Department of the Central Bank, and also some external experts. So here I am. And then after we do our work at the Sukuk Technical Committee, the structure and the documents goes to Sharia Advisory Committee. There they give the Sharia opinion, or basically there they approve the structure and the documents. And this Sharia Advisory Committee comprises of representatives from the Bangladesh Bank, that is the central bank, and also a member from Ministry of Finance, and other members are prominent Sharia scholars from the banking sector. But in the corporate sector, the regulator, that is Securities and Exchange Commission of Bangladesh, they require only Sharia Supervisory Board. They don't require any technical committee. But as I will highlight shortly, that one of the challenges we observed is that the Sharia scholars are not really equipped of the technical know-how of how to structure a Sukuk, or what goes in a Sukuk structure, basically. So in both corporate Sukuk, what we did, we advised the issuers that you have to have a technical committee who will basically, similar to government Sukuk, who basically will evaluate the project, understand the project, understand the needs, and then we'll structure the sukuk, and we'll help you with the documentation. And then finally, after you have done that, you will submit it to the Sharia Supervisory Committee for the final vetting. Now going to issues and challenges, or challenges and opportunities. The main challenge the market is facing, the sukuk market in Bangladesh is facing, is lack of expertise. We started sukuk in 2020. That was the peak of COVID time, and since then also there is a great lack of expertise. People don't really understand how to structure a sukuk. Basically, the sukuk structure and a banking product are two different things. Banking products are very simple, but sukuk structures can be very complicated. So that's why, from the technical side, some professionals are trying to help. But then, at the end of the day, the Sharia board needs to give the opinion. But to give the opinion, they need to understand that. So there lies the problem. So from our side, we try to educate our Sharia scholars that what is sukuk and what are the technical issues. As Dr. Mazid at the beginning mentioned, that whenever the management submits the product structure, they leave out many matters. Sometimes due to, of course, sometimes there are dishonest intentions, but sometimes it can be due to the fact that they may feel that these are not related to Sharia matters. But how you can decide whether a certain matter has a Sharia compliance consequence or not, since when you are not a Sharia scholar? So you have to inform the Sharia scholar, or you need to give the time to the Sharia scholars to properly evaluate that. A tendency or a mindset is that Sharia scholars will give an opinion in 1 or 2 hours, whereas the document is basically 1,000 pages. So it's absolutely impossible. You need to, of course, you need to brief them, but they need to give the documents and give them time. Like in one of the previous panels, international standards were referred to. Like, for example, the standards say that Sharia committee meetings will be once in every quarter. So basically 3 or 4 meetings in a year. Then one question is, how long will be the meeting? I mean, is it for 1 hour? Is it for 2 hours? Is it a whole day? That's one thing. And second thing is that for sukuk particularly, if we say that the Sharia scholars need to go through all the details of the documents, then they need to discuss, they need to debate. So if the meeting is for, let's say, 2 hours, it's totally impossible to properly discuss matters in 3 or 4 meetings. So that's why we are trying to educate our scholars as well, that you should not just rely on whatever presented by the management, or presented by the originator, or presented by the issue manager, or presented by even by the central bank. You just don't just rely on that. You need to ask for all the details and read the details. But then unfortunately, always the situation is that from the issuer side, they're always in a rush. They want to issue the instrument yesterday. So there is no time. They say, so there is always a push that, oh, we don't have time, we need to issue that and this and that. There is a pressure from Ministry of Finance, so there is for the government sukuk, for corporate sukuk, the origin needs money for this and that project, and this project is already in the implementation, we need the money. So if you have such urgency, then why not you started the process early on? Why you started at the very last moment? And for Sharia scholars' perspective, I mean, you cannot give opinion without having a proper understanding. Doesn't matter how much the pressure is. That's one. Second, one of the challenges is that there is a lack of understanding about Sharia rulings. Just now, our Sheikh mentioned that there are many opinions. Now, problem is that the legal framework is not really friendly to Islamic finance instruments. For example, a sukuk structure involves a number of transactions, buy and sell, and ijara, and etc. So, for the legal, the tax law requires imposition of value-added tax registration tax, stamp duties. So if you impose all those in a sukuk transition, then sukuk will not be commercially viable anymore. So what may happen is that a Sharia board, understanding the reality, may sometimes adopt a position that is not accepted by all, but that is still within the parameters of Sharia. Now there lies a problem. So maybe Sharia committee gave a valid opinion, but the market or the Sharia scholars who are not involved in this, they don't understand these issues. So they may come up with an opposing opinion that, oh, this sukuk, although it has been approved by Sharia committee, but this sukuk is not Sharia compliant. In fact, I myself I was giving a lecture at one of the top public universities in Bangladesh. So one student confronted me that this sukuk is not Sharia compliant. I said, oh, okay, so how do you know that? Then he said, one sheikh mentioned that. So who is that sheikh? That sheikh is a student of Sheikh Taqi Usmani. Then I said, oh, well, I mean, he has right to have his own opinion. But Sheikh Taqi Usmani is the chairman of IOFI, and this IOFI made this permissible. So if you are giving a reference to Sheikh Taqi Usmani, then his own Sharia board approved this thing. So how you can strongly holding this opinion that this is not Sharia compliant? Of course, all scholars and all sheikhs have the right to have his own opinion, but you cannot say that categorically this is Sharia non-compliant. Another issue we face is that the issue of tradability. Like in Malaysia, tradability of debt is permissible. But in Bangladesh so far, we have adopted the opinion that we shall observe the rule of buy al dain or sell of debt. So it means that when we are structuring sukuk structure become a bit complicated. And so that is one of the issues we yet to go through properly in the Bangladesh market, whether we shall maintain our existing position or we shall maintain the overwhelming majority position, or there is a leeway. And also we have faced another challenge is that is the insurance of sukuk assets. So for sukuk assets, we need insurance. But in Bangladesh market, despite having quite a number of Islamic insurance companies, they are not big enough, or they are not, many of them are not credible enough. So what may happen is that in the sukuk, we still had to allow conventional insurance. So knowing that conventional insurance is not permissible, but due to the practical situation, we are allowing conventional insurance. And then another issue we have observed is that the guarantee of the obligor. So our fee position and majority position is that there cannot be any fee against guarantee. But the problem is, without fee, who will provide the guarantee? So there we are still, we yet to discuss or debate this in details and come up with a concrete conclusion, but we are still holding the position of IOFI that there shall not be any fee against guarantee. Regarding opportunities, to conclude very quickly, in Bangladesh, in recent years, particularly after the government has issued sukuk, many are now keen to understand what is sukuk. And then when they try to understand sukuk, they face the difficulty that without having the fundamentals right, you cannot really understand sukuk. So then people are forced to read about Islamic finance basics. So this is a good development in the sense that many are now trying to understand what is Islamic finance and how we are applying Islamic finance principles in reality in terms of in the banking sector, in the capital market sector, and of course in the insurance sector. So Alhamdulillah, the awareness efforts has increased substantially in recent years. This is a good sign. And otherwise, from the government side, another opportunity is that we have government saving certificates, and recently government has introduced universal pension scheme. But unfortunately, so far, these are conventional. These are interest-based. Although Bangladesh being 90% Muslim population country, these government instruments are all conventional. So from our side, from the Sharia scholars or Sharia committee side, we are trying to make our regulators as well as policymakers understand the need for Islamic instruments, so that the Muslim population who are increasingly becoming aware about the prohibition of riba and the importance of Islamic financial instruments, so that the government start converting the existing instruments, commercial instruments to the Islamic ones. Yeah, thank you for now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mesbaudin. Very good and fruitful discussions we had. Actually, as you heard from our distinguished panelists, the Sharia committees in different segments, they are facing different challenges. And then, as Sheikh Lakhani indicated, it is quite important to let people understand Islamic banking principles and then educate them well, so that if many of them, they understand the fundamental characteristics of the Islamic finance, they definitely will accept it as a good paradigm. And also thanks to Dr. Meisami for talking about the opportunities and challenges that right now we have in the central bank, and also as the central bank as the supervisor for the banking system. And very good discussion by Dr. Mesbaudin about the education and training and then expertise of many financial experts and Islamic scholars in terms of the financial products. Okay, we have very shortage of time, and then for the very quick wrap up, I would like to ask Dr. Meisami to wrap up and conclude his statements in just 2 or maximum 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Majid, for your kind conclusion that you made, and my thanks go to Brother Mesbahuddin and Sheikh from the State Bank of Pakistan. I believe that there are many issues that should be discussed regarding the opportunities and challenges of Sharia boards. And the most important one, I believe that the brother said, education is one of them. We should gradually educate people and experts in the field of Islamic banking, and these guys will help the Sharia implementation and Islamic banking implementation in the system. The system will not convert to real Islamic banking overnight. It takes time. It is a tough issue. It is a difficult path to go. But in my view, the approach is acceptable, and we are gradually getting near to real Islamic banking. Hope that Allah helps all the Islamic countries regarding the implementation of Islamic banking. That's all, brother.
Thank you very much, Dr. Meisami. Thank you very much. Sheikh Shabir, 2 or 3 minutes to wrap up. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Again, I would like to discuss in very short a concept. Actually, the world has been divided into 2. One is Islamic or other is non-Islamic. And today we are struggling for understanding the definitions of different things. What is qabz? What is iqbaz? In the days one had to go and pick up that thing. Today you just push a button and your cryptocurrency is there. So these concepts have to be clarified so that we can move fast. One of the challenges is that our youth has moved at the speed of light and we are moving at the speed of camels. So we need to speed up again. When it comes to concept, I'm sorry, this is my understanding, and if there is something wrong, please, I'm here. It is said artificial intelligence. It is said virtual intelligence. What is artificiality in artificial intelligence? I repeat, artificial intelligence is a reality now. Why they are using virtual, that is imaginary? Why they are using the word artificial, and it is being used by non-Islamic powers so that slowly and steadily they take our youth to a concept there is no reality in this world. And finally, they want to say that there is no creator, there is no Allah in this world. So when it comes to definitions, we have to be very serious. Artificial intelligence is actual intelligence. AI is the correct short form, but it is not artificial intelligence, my brothers and my sisters and honorable scholars. It is actual intelligence. In us, it is in our aql, and in these systems, it's there. These are realities being presented as imaginations. It's a philosophical discussion, but having an opportunity to discuss with honorable, respectable people from different countries, I would request you, one, let us develop the new concepts of definition, and secondly, let us be guarded with the definitions which are being given to us or the words being used. Two examples I have given to you, and I hope that two of the challenges which I missed them. One is, if all the conventional banks get converted to Islamic banks, what we will do about the liquidity? Where will we take it? Today in State Bank, when we sit, we are surprised how to solve the problem of parking the liquidity. We don't have any way out, and it's a very very difficult thing. And one more thing which is very much needed is that we need to, as Honorable Pere said, that we need to reach to the last person who is coming in the mosque and guide him. That you need to be completely Islamic, and one of the ways is Islamic economic system. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Mesbaudin, 2 or 3 minutes, wrap up. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you again. So the issues and challenges are basically, I feel that they are basically same across jurisdictions. That's one. And second thing is that I felt from the Bangladesh perspective is that the regulators must be well informed regarding Islamic finance matters. So that's why we try to contribute by using different means to communicate our concerns. Like, for example, from very small efforts, like creating WhatsApp group, like Islamic Economic and Forum and etc., where we invite practitioners, scholars, regulators, so that they can interact through informal chats. And on time-to-time basis, the contemporary issues can be, or the legal issues can be shared on a real-time basis. And from that to arranging or organizing such conferences where we invite speakers or panelists from all sectors so that they can communicate or interact, so that none of us can be left at our comfort zones. So that's what we try to do. We're trying to do in Bangladesh. And I believe that's the same thing is happening in other jurisdictions as well. With that, of course, ICM, organized by Securities and Action Commission or Securities Action Organization of Iran, is such an initiative where we can interact and share our views. So more efforts like this, of course, is needed in all of the jurisdictions. And same thing is happening in Malaysia, of course. Malaysia is like, in Malaysia, there are so many events happening, like even on a single day, there are multiple events and multiple major events that sometimes we struggle to cope with such a huge number of events. So yeah, and similar efforts is needed in other jurisdictions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mesbaudin. Okay, now I would like to invite the respected audience and the professionals here to share their viewpoints with the panelists. I would like to invite you, if you have any ideas or comments to share, please, the floor is yours. Thank you very much. Dr. Mazhar, thank you.
Please allow me, from the speech of Agha Shabir Mismi, I have been thinking that that's a very serious question, that which wife is going to win? Either the first wife is going to kick out the second wife in Pakistan, or they are going to decide to live with each other peacefully. Because we are witnessing in Pakistan that we are making the system parallel. So I just wanted to ask you that, as per the Sharia scholar, to which wife you are going to read the Sigha of Talaq?
Actually, it was just an example, not a reality. The non-Islamic wife has to get out of the system. That's all.
Now people are smiling.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Sharaq Nassar, yes, please.
Yeah. So, Brother Misbah, just one small clarification. When Sheikh Taqi Usmani Sahab was chairman of AOFI, that was the time he made a statement that 85% sukuk would not pass the muster. So it is possible that a person remains in responsible position. At the same time, he also has the liberty of expressing his opinion. So that is not very unsurprising that one of his students said that it is un-Islamic. Yes.
And just to respond to that, it happened in 2007 in one of the AOFI conference where Sheikh Taqi Usmani presented a paper on this. And he didn't say 85% of sukuk, rather he mentioned about participatory structures in that paper. That paper is available in Arabic and also in English, and it clearly mentioned about wakala bil istithmar and mudaraba form of sukuk. Later on, there was a news report, and that news report quoted Sheikh Taqi Usmani where it was mentioned that 85%. And that was basically referred to asset-based sukuk. So asset-based sukuk, and even after that, after 2007, in 2008, AOFI issued a resolution detailing what are the things permissible and not, and then subsequently they have adopted that in a standard. The example I referred to, that is very specific to one of the sukuk issues, that is in ijara sukuk, and on which AOFI has a specific standard. And of course, Sheikh Taqi Usmani was the chairman at that point, and of course, he has approved that. So one thing was asset-based sukuk, that's in 2007-8. And after that, AOFI issued issued resolution, and after that, market has changed substantially, and also there is a very specific standard on ijara.
Yeah, 30 seconds, if I may. 30 seconds. Yeah, because that's very important observation that Taqi Usmani Sahab didn't make it. And if you look at media, that is flush, and if you try to find out his resubmission that no, I did not make any statement like that, and if anybody has any proof, should come or otherwise. So there was no refutation, at least available in social media, etc. And it did create a big havoc. And I am not trying to suggest that his statement was wrong. No, that's not. Because it was Mudarba Sukuk with capital production guarantee, that was the basis. So the idea was only that, a person, how AOFI works. I need to go a little deeper. Even if a scholar has not stamped his stamp on certain views, he is not allowed to go in public to express his dissent. So internally, he can have a note of dissent, but outside, the scholar is not supposed to. That is how internally AOFI system works. So it is possible that Dr. Sheikh Hussain Hamid Hassan, who was part of it, he was allowing the certain sukuk, and there were other scholars as well. So I do not want to create that kind of dispute at the end of the day, but I think refutation is a very important thing, because when something comes in the name of someone like Taqi Usmani Sahab, and if he doesn't come up refuting that, no, this is not my statement, that is considered to be true. Unfortunately, that is how we live in social media time.
Just right, I fully agree with the comment. Just to agree on our Sharia standards, if a scholar is strongly against a certain opinion or certain conclusion of our Sharia standard, And that dissent of opinion is captured within the Sharia standard. So even there are a few examples in the Sharia standards as well. Just to highlight that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Great. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Just a few comments. With regards to this comment about Sheikh Taqi Osmani Sahab, whatever dissent he had, we must look at the practical situation on the ground. And Pakistan is probably one of the most speedy market for issuance of Ijara Sukuk right now. Actually, we have innovated a step further. We are going to have government Ijara Sukuks to be listed at the Pakistan Stock Exchange. So this is a big innovation in terms of instrument being tradable and then traded at a market price, which is bid and offer rate. With regards to the turnaround time that you made on the software side, please put yourself in the shoes of a regulator and see how people push us for the turnaround time. I've actually written it on my door in Persian that Umr Bayed ke Yar Ayad Bakinar. So everybody should be more patient about things. It shall take time for things to happen. Few quick comments from you. Number one, Pakistan is currently exercising a certificate-based Sharia sort of compliance regime, that you get a structure, Sharia compliance certificated, and then you can exercise it as many times as you wish, unless there is a cardinal change. Versus there is a regime where every product actually goes to a Sharia advisor and it is approved. Which one would you prefer? If you can just quickly choose any one of them. And then I've got another question.
You mean if one specific financial instruments, we want to launch it, and then we have both a form of Sharia approval for one structure and the other one which is not Sharia, which has not received the Sharia approval.
What I mean to say is that if once, let's say, Wakalatul Istismar, it's approved by a Sharia board, you don't have to go for another approval. It's certified Sharia compliant product. You can exercise it as many times as you wish. Versus every time you have to go to the board and get a formal certification for the product approval. Which one would you prefer to have?
In Iran, in general, you're talking?
In general or specifically in Iran?
Let me talk about the case in Iran, and also we may talk the viewpoints about in general. In Iran, actually, in the specific cases that we have the Sharia approval, for example, for the Ijara Sukuk structure, many times the originators may issue sukuk, the issuers may issue sukuk, and there is no need for the second Sharia approval. That's finished. The Sharia board has been issued. But the point is that, for example, let's talk about the case of Murabaha Sukuk, as the Sheikh Misbahi just indicated in the morning. We have approved the Murabaha Sukuk to buy assets, okay? And now, there is a question on the table. Is it okay to finance through Murabaha Sukuk for the assets which had been purchased before the issuance? So this is a new topic actually, from Sharia perspective. They are both related to Murabaha Sukuk. They are both related to Murabaha Sukuk. But the point is that basically the Sharia board announced that, hey, you can issue Murabaha Sukuk million times to raise fund in order to buy assets or services. That's okay. There is no need for any second type of approvals. But if you want to have, for example, Sukuk Muraba issued in order to repurchase a previously purchased asset, that's a Sharia-related issue. So I think that case by case it differs. And then if we have the resolution announced that many times, that would be okay to issue. But if there is some new elements inherent with that product, the new elements might have some Sharia-related aspects. Who announces that? Whether is it important for the Sharia committee to resolve this issue or not? We have Islamic finance experts. We have Islamic finance professionals. They decide that, hey, okay, this one is important from Sharia perspective, let's ask the Sharia approvals. Or the Islamic finance professionals may say that, hey, this is not a Sharia important issue, so there is no need for any second type of Sharia communities approvals. The panelists, if you have more comments.
I think he has given a very good explanation. But when it comes to my personal opinion, we should try to make things easier. If a system is developed and given to the people, then we should just observe that they are going according to the laws. I'm in State Bank, and at times, 3 meetings being held in 3 or 4 months, every time Sukuk matter comes, we have to finalize. Then I said, sir, make a standard, get our signs over there. Let us see what is the project, and we'll say, go ahead. Again and again, time is being wasted. And sorry to tell you, conventional banking people are making fun of us on these matters. So let's develop the concepts, frameworks, and let people work. We just need to monitor them, that they go according to Sharia. Thank you.
Okay.
Please turn on your microphone.
Sharia pronouncement from the scholar on the structure of the instrument. If the instrument is Islamic, then the fatwa is obtained from the Sharia scholar, and according to that, then the approval of the SECP is obtained, and then it is offered to the public. So Sharia pronouncement is the basic requirement.
That is absolutely agreed, that Sharia has to be compliant. But my point is that if you develop a Sharia compliant procedure for issuing of sukuks, then a person has a right to go ahead. Why every time he has to come? The Sharia scholar in his system is there, and he is answerable to Allah. So that he works perfectly, rather than all the time we are just sitting on their minds. Thank you.
So there is a generic discussion that the modern regime should be comply and or explain, or should it be approval based every time, which wastes a lot of time. So this is where I was heading. Another quick comment from maybe head of the panel. Should there be a complete separation in the licenses for the conventional and the Sharia compliant financial institutions, specifically if you want to add with regards to the banks? In Pakistan, we have both the Sharia compliance windows and the conventional banks operating under a very consolidated sort of a license. So should there be a complete separation between the license, or is it something to be achieved, let's say, 10 years down the lane?
Well, in my view, about the previous question, I have a comment that is, here I believe that Sheikh Maisami is putting the point is correct. I believe that the repeated issues should not come to the Sharia Council or Sharia Board and getting new fatwa. It goes to Islamic finance experts or the secretary of the Sharia Council to decide if it is a new issue or it is not, just a new implication. Sometimes experts believe that it is just an implication, but if we look at it from a jurisprudential point of view, it might have some fiqhi points that needs new fatwa. But in most cases, in the Sharia Council of Central Bank, when it is not needed to get the fatwa, we solve the problem in the secretary based on the Islamic finance expertise, and it doesn't need any fatwa. Regarding your question, which was very important, in my view, it should be separated, and we need some part for conventional issues and licenses, and some part especially for Islamic parts. In the Sharia Council of Central Bank, from 2 years ago, we started something called Islamic Banking Certificate, right? And the people who want to work as a board of Islamic banks, if they get this certificate from the Sharia Council and from the central bank, this would have positive effect in the assessment and things like that. So I believe that they should be separated.
Last very small comment. In terms of long-term instruments, Sharia, at least in Pakistan and the regional markets, has not been able to come up with a solution so far. We've got up to 20 years bonds available in the conventional market. We've got 15 years bond. You mentioned that there was a universal pension scheme being launched in Bangladesh. Have you been able to come up with the longer-term Sharia-compliant instruments to match the longevity risk for this?
No, not yet. We are still at the stage of educating the regulator and the policymakers regarding these instruments or possibilities. Still, the market is at the learning phase, so and they are focusing basically 5 to 6 years instruments only. So far, the 3 government issues are all 5 years. Yeah. Maximum. I mean, exactly 5 years. Exactly 5 years. Very much, because even in fact, I work as at the technical committee, and basically I am the one who do all the structuring. Even for the second and third, because all of our sukuk are ijara sukuk. So I said, come on, I mean, why we have to just go for ijara? Let's do something else. Then I came up with the structure, etc. Then when I explained to that, then they said, oh, it's too difficult. Let's go back to ijara.
Thank you very much. Now, because of very shortage of time, I would like to have the final question from Dr. Mihajat, and then let's wrap up. If there is any other questions, we will be happy, yes, to have during the break time or tomorrow or any time if you would like during the questions. You may send the questions. Dr. Mihajat.
Yes, straightforward for Central Bank of Iran. I just have a question. Do you have a specific regulation for banks in Iran that they are operating outside Iran? Because you are stating that all Islamic banks in Iran are Islamic. Because we see several banks in Iran, outside Iran, operating under conventional. So how is? Yes.
Okay, brother, this is a real challenge that we have in the Iranian banking system. Most of the branches outside Iran are doing conventional banking, and it is not acceptable according to the Sharia board. You are just correct.
Very simple and correct answer.
This is the final statement by Dr. Hossein Meissami. Thank you very much. A very good discussion.
Honesty is the best policy, by the way.
A very good discussions by the panelists. I would like to ask all the audiences to give applause for all yourselves, please. Thank you very much for your patience and attention, and also I would like to thank the esteemed panelists for their own very fruitful discussions. Mr. Najjar, the floor is yours.